Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon.
So I just dropped a reminder in the group. So let's maybe we can wait for 5 minutes for most students to join the call.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I think if the host can hear me, kindly make me a co-host so I can share my screen.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'll do that now.
So, good afternoon, everyone. Let me start by apologizing for not being able to make it to last week's class. I embarked on a trip, and then I was thinking I would be able to make it earlier to join the class, but I couldn't. So I'm deeply sorry about that. And so we're going to be we're going to be starting this week's class discussing business finance and budgeting. I'm sure we are familiar with all of these terms, finance, budgeting. So we're just going to be diving into what budgeting is, what some of those things we need to, why budgeting is important in business, and then what should be in your budget, and then how to have, how do you create one for your business. So at the end of this class as well, I'm going to be giving you as a take-home and assignment, like a continuation of the one you did. And then let me first, out of, I think 6 people joined the class last upper week, but only 3 people submitted my assignment. So for those that didn't do the assignment, can I know why? Was it difficult? Is there a problem that I should know of? I'm waiting to hear from you. I think I only have Priska Ogonna, Adeleke Mariam, and Sophia Ibrahim that submitted the assignment. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I think Bimbi Ibrahim, if you can hear me, can you kindly tell me why you were unable to do the assignment briefly so we could go to the business of the day?
Hello, I did the assignments and shared it with you
Shared it where?
on Drive, Google Drive.
Google Drive. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe let me briefly, I'll go through it and then check it, because most of this, the people that I mentioned their name, they send it directly to my email.
Okay.
So maybe that was why I missed yours.
Okay.
Okay. So Zarau Tukura Bashir, you're welcome. This is the first time you're joining our class. Can you hear me? Okay, so let's get to the business of the day. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Am I speaking? Zara, right? Only mute your mic if you're speaking yet. So, business, finance, and budgeting. So we're going to be kindly mute your mic, please. So we're going to be compressing that of last week, the session for last week, and the session for this week. And then let's kindly mute your mic if you're not speaking, please. Sophia Iroko, kindly mute your mic. Okay, so here's a quote by David Ramsey. A budget is telling you where your money go instead of wondering where it went. Have you ever wondered you go to a market to get some stuffs, and then when you get home, you begin to wonder, where did all the chunks of money that I have in my pocket, where did it all go? Because sometimes when we go to the market, we don't have like a tentative budget that is guiding what we should buy or what we want to buy in the markets. All we do is just buy the next goods that is appealing to us. So, but with a budget, if you have a budget, probably in your notepad or in a piece of paper, and you go to the budget and it guides, you stick to your budget to buy whatever it is you want to buy, you realize that at the end of the day, you're on track, because you would be able to know, okay, this is exactly what I spent on this. This is what was spent on that. So the same applies to your businesses. The same applies to every other aspect of our personal lives that involves money coming in and money going out. So we're just going to be discussing, and this is basically we're not going to go deep into this, so we won't get lost. So just to whet our minds as to what budgeting is all about and how we can have an efficient one. So I've already introduced myself. So this is basically what we'll be covering for today. We have what is budgeting. We have why is budgeting important. What should the budget contain? Types of budgeting and budget development processes. And then translating strategy into target budgets and budget needs. So all of this we're going to be discussing today. So what is budgeting? We all know what budgeting is. And then a basic definition of what budgeting is a budget is an estimation of revenue and expenses over a specified future of time, a specified period of time. So, and it's usually compiled and reevaluated on a periodic basis. So budget is not something that you just create and then it sticks. If you create the budget for, let's say, the first quarter of a year, you definitely need to review it for the next quarter. Are you on track? Is the amount that you put in the budgets for your expenses, is it still the same with the current market value? So if the values have changed, you definitely need to review your budget. So budgets can be made for a person, just like I earlier said, a group of people, a business, a government, or just about anything else that makes money and spends money. So budget is not basically about just running your businesses. Every aspect of our lives where money comes in and money comes out needs us to budget. The reason why most of us think we don't need budget because probably let me just enjoy my life and we only live once. So and at the end of the month or at the end of the day, you realize that the salary you collected just some couple of days ago finished even before the month is divided into two, because we don't have budgets. And even in our businesses, money is coming in, you receive an income, probably a transaction of 100,000. And then before you know, you've spent 90,000 inside, buying this, buying that. You don't have like a laid down budget as to, okay, how to spend the money coming into your business. So before you know it, you would be spending your capital. Let me put it that way. So it's very important for us to like have an idea of what a budget is. There's no like laid down way as to what you must create in your own budget as a person or as a business, because our earning pattern or our income pattern and our spending pattern and our expenses pattern is different from one person to the other. So, but the most important thing here is for you to understand budgeting and how to tailor it to fit your own way of earning and spending money. So I want to believe you all understand. So business budgeting here. A business budget is a spending plan for your business based on your income and expenses. So if you notice this, two things keeps reoccurring: income and expenses. So it's very important for you to know that you can only spend from what you've earned. It is not possible for you to keep spending and keep spending. So income first before expenses. It identifies your available capital, estimates your spending, and help you predict revenue. So it is only through budgeting You can have like every businesses need to buy stocks, every business needs to run, every business needs to like have a definitely you earn money, you spend money. When you spend a particular you make a particular income, you definitely need to spend money to generate some other revenues. So it is very, very important for you as a business person to have a budget, to have first start with a record of your income and expenses, how money is coming in, how money is going out. It is very, very important because one of the rule in management, in business management, they said, what you don't know, what you can't count, you can't manage it. That meaning you don't know how much is coming in for you. How can you manage it? You don't know how much is going out. How well can you manage it? So, and one of those reasons why businesses fail is because we just think business is about money is going in, money is going out. Money is going in, money is, no. Do you know where the money is coming in from? The frequency that, with which it is coming in, and the frequency at which it is going out. Do you know all of those things? So it is very, very important for you to know how well your income is coming in and how the expenses. So in that way, you know how much you have, how much your business is worth, and how much you should spend, such that you won't be spending your capital. Like I said in the beginning, 100,000 comes in for a business owner. And then before you know, because there's one Ashwebi somewhere that you need to buy, there's one Gili that you saw on Instagram that is entering your eye. And then before you know, you've spent 90,000 naira and you only have, your business only has 10,000 naira. So when NEPA comes to collect their NEPA bill and the NEPA bill is 15,000 naira, there's nothing you can do, you have to pay. And you only have 10,000 naira left. Maybe probably you need to pay your staff or something. You've already spent the money out of budget. So there's nothing left to run your business. So that is why it is very, very important to at least have a record of income and expenses. At least have a record of income and expenses. Then from there, you build your budget from. So if you know how money is coming in, then you know how well to spend and what to cut down. So let's move forward. So why is budgeting important? Like I have done a brief of this. You know, budget can help you set short-term and long-term plan for your business, like goal. It is only when you know the frequency of money that is coming in for you, then you can plan for the future. You can plan for, if you cannot make a plan of ₦1 million when you don't know, when your business is not earning 100,000. But if your business is earning ₦1 million, then you can know that this is the frequency at which money is coming in. Then let's use this money coming in to plan to earn 2 million or to plan to earn 5 million. So budgeting and having the right record for your business finance is very, very important. So tracking revenue. Revenue is generally the total amount of money that comes into a business. Like the money that you earn, the money that comes into a business. Then expenses and your cash flow. Cash flow is similar to revenue. It's like money coming in, money going out, money coming in, money going out. It's like of your income and expenses. So budgeting will help you do all of those things and trim costs to avoid overspending. It is only when you have that budget, just like I explained, when you go to the market and then you don't have a budget, it is anything that pleases your eye, you will buy. And at the end of the day, you will find out that you're overspending. So it is only through budgeting, you won't be overspending. So budgeting can also help you prepare for busy seasons. What do I mean by busy seasons? Like for some of us that are in the creative industry and then we make clothes and the like, you would know that towards the end of the year, it's a very busy season. A lot of people will be traveling to meet their family, so they would want to wear new clothes, buy new accessories, buy all of those things. December is coming. And a wise business person from now is already preparing for December sales. So it is only when you have the right budget, you know that, okay, let me set out this amount of money to buy raw material. And if you need to produce new products, to produce new product to sell during December, or if it is to buy from someone and resell, you know from now you should start making budgets for busy season of December. And when you make the right budgets, you'll realize that by slowdowns, you realize that when all the season is gone, December, January is usually very slow, like very slow. Businesses, because most people have gone and spent money this thing in at home. Sorry, the word I say, speaker, you're sipping. I just need to keep myself hydrated. So January is usually very slow, and you realize that if you didn't really plan well, if you didn't really budget the money you earn during December, if you didn't really plan well, if you use it to have dirty December, or what do they call it, you would have problems with your with money during January, the January season, like January, February. From March, the whole thing is beginning to take shape. So budgeting is very important for us to be able to plan for the busy seasons, like the December that is upon us, and for slowdowns, like when business is not coming as they used to. With the right budget, you'll be able to sail well. And then last but not the least, maintain a record of finance. Like it is very, very important. Like if you don't record how much money is coming in for you, like even if you're selling peanuts, like that's the least of something. Even if you're selling peanuts, it is very important for you to know how many peanuts you're selling in a day, how many you're selling in a week, how many you're selling in a month. You know, with that, you know how many you would produce, how many, like it will inform you on some business decisions. But most of us just think is about, let me just have money in my pocket. No. And that is where most businesses fail, because we don't keep the right records. Like you don't even have a record of your customers. You don't even have, people are just buying and selling from you. There's no way to track them. There's no way to get feedback. There's no way to know who are really your customers. So it's very, very important, regardless of how the size of your business. Don't say my business is a small business and then do I really need to know all of these things? See, it is from somewhere a business starts. And but the moment you keep it, you have the right way of keeping record when your business is still small. When it grows, you will already grow into it. So, but when you don't even like manage your business very well, when it is small, the moment the business grow, you struggle to manage it. So it's very, very important for us to put all of these things in mind while our businesses are still coming up. Let me not call it small, while they are still coming up, because no business is small. So budgeting is not just for people who do not have enough money. Like it's for everyone who wants to ensure that their money is enough. Do we understand that? Let me call someone to like tell me what you understand by this. At random, let me call Deborah. This is the first time I'm seeing you here. Deborah N.E. So what do you understand by this quote?
Okay. What I understood by this budgeting is like mapping out how you're going to.
No, let me streamline it to these quotes. I said there's a quote on the screen.
Okay.
Budgeting is not just for people who do not have enough money. It is for everyone who wants to ensure that their money is enough. What do you understand by this?
Is to make sure that the money goes around the budget for the month or for the year. So why laughing?
Okay, you've tried. Priska, can you help her?
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Okay. What I understood by this post is budget helps everyone, not just big or small businesses, regardless of the nature of your business. It
Yes.
helps you to that it makes you it helps you to make sure that your money, the money you started with, or your money is is equivalent, the input you are putting, the input your finance is in your business is
Yes.
it will be you will have a record of is
Okay.
enough to run the
Yes.
business.
Thank you.
Is enough to run the business, and
Yes. Thank you. So thank you. So
it helps you to monitor.
yes. Like regardless of how much you're earning, regardless of how much money is coming in for you, with the right budget. See, if you earn, let's say at the end of the month, your revenue is around 100,000 naira. See, with the right budget, you will run a better business than someone that is earning 1 million but doesn't have the right budget, because they'll spend it on things that are not necessary. Like, for money to be enough, is like with the right budget, your 1,000 naira will position your business in the right place, such that where you would know when to plan, what to plan for, and how much to spend. So it is very, very important for us to like as little as possible, have a budget for your business. As little as possible, have a record of income and a record of expenses. So let's move forward. So what should a budget contain? Revenue. And by revenue, it means the actual amount of money received through business activity, including selling products, investments, interest on savings, dividends, and other sources, like the total amount of money coming into your business. Total amount of money coming into your business. That is your revenue. The money coming in, that's your revenue. So it should be in your budget. You cannot plan with what is not coming in, what you've not received, or what is not in your own business. You only plan with what you've received. So having your revenue is very, very important. And also expenses. They said expenses, all costs associated with running a business, like your direct costs, recurring expenses, like the one that keeps coming, like you have to do probably every month or every year, like electricity, like rent, long-term assets that you're saving towards a building or anything. Like, an expenses generally is being divided into two. We have your fixed expenses, the one that stays the same month in, month out, such as rent. Like the rent you're paying every month is usually the same throughout the rest of the year. Your salaries, your insurance, and some basic business charges. And expenses, flexible expenses are those ones that, like the total amount of money you use in buying fuel a month is not the same over the year. Now that NEPA now, only God knows what's in the worry them. You understand me? So that is a flexible expense. So those are the general expenses that you incur in your business. So all of that should be in your budget. So do we all understand what expenses means? Like any money going out of your business. Like in a layman term, money coming in and money going out, in whatever form they are, they should be in your budget. In like, let me use that word. Let me use that phrase to summarize what expenses. The money going out of, the money you're taking from your pocket and you're spending for a service or for a product within your business is your expense. Whether it is 5 naira, whether it is 10 naira, whether it is 500,000, whether it is 1 million, is an expense. So you won't neglect 5 naira because it is small. But now, when you do that 5 naira 100 times, then you will know it is big. So it is very, very important. No matter how small a transaction is, you need to record it. And that will better position your business. That will better like help you to know the financial standing of your business. Profit or income. They say the amount remaining after you've subtracted revenue from expense. Like you've subtracted the money that comes in You've subtracted the money that goes out from the money that comes in. Whatever remains is your profit. And under they said the key to creating a successful budget is to add up all your revenue sources over a 12-month period. Forecast your expense to estimate your profits. Like when you know total amount of money you will spend, you know that, okay, you're spending, you're paying a rent of, let's say, 100,000 naira. 100,000 per month is, let's say, 8,000 naira. Salary that you are paying, probably your sales girl or your accountant or this one, let's say it's 30,000. You need to like put all of those ones. You know the money you will spend, your fixed expenses, you know, every month, and then your flexible expenses like NEPA, like that one, like some small for raw material and these ones. All of those things you should be able to project how much you will. If you've done it over a period of time, you'll be able to take like a sample. Okay, we've spent 10,000 this month. We spent 15,000 last month. We spent 5,000 last upper month. We spent, so you'll be able to take an average of, okay, 10,000 plus 15 plus 5. Probably if you spend 20,000 some months ago, you sum all of those together. For a period of 4 months, you calculate all of your flexible expenses and divide them by 4. That will give you an average of the amount of the expenses you're doing. Then if you make a budget around that, you'd at least come close to what you want. If you forecast your expenses to estimate your profits, the difference between your revenue and your costs, and frequently review your budget through monitoring monthly, because it is not possible for you to create a 1-year budget and then you only check it after the year. Every year and every month, you need to be reviewing it. You need to like update it with current cost of my product in the market, raw materials or products in the markets. If it is NEPA, if you're paying 5,000 for NEPA bill and then now NEPA updates it to 15,000, you need to include it in your budget such that you know at the end of the year amount that should be remaining. So profit or income should be in your budget. And here we have another quote. Balancing the budget is like going to heaven. Everybody wants to do it, but nobody wants to do what you have to do to get there. Like we all want to make profits in our business. We all want to have a good financial standing in your business. We all want to know where our money are. Like as a business owner, one of the biggest headache of a Nigerian business person is money is coming in, money is going out. And I can believe you will all agree with me. If you agree with me, you can just put yes on the chat box. Money is coming in, money is going out. But at the end of the month, you find you begin to look for that money. You can't find it. So it is very, very important. And with the right budget, that is the only way you can know, okay, this is where the money coming in, and this is what I have spent it on, and this is the one remaining. Like calculators don't lie. If you put the record down, the way it should be, you would have a balanced record. So understanding types of budgets. Please, am I going too fast or too slow? Have you understood all I've said so far? Let me hear from you, please.
Yes.
Okay, so any questions so far? Isaiah, this is the first time I'm seeing this thing. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Are you in the class?
Sorry, it's just I'm
So-
having problem with my edition, so I'm using another one.
Okay. So is everything clear from beginning?
Not really, but I just got in halfway. Even right now, I can't really hear. I'm trying to get my network, please.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
from
I believe
thank
probably when I'm summarizing, you would understand better. So is there any other person that is having difficulty understanding the class so far? Or is there any question so far before we continue? Like I said, we are combining last week's class with this week's class, and then I want us to have some to discuss the assignments at the end of the class, and then would call it a week. Any question, please? So no question. So understanding types of budgets. Here it said, the budget is a microeconomic concept that shows the trade-off made when goods is exchanged for an order. This is just plenty to but the trade-off is like the difference between what comes in and what goes out. Like, and it's a way of you, with the economic there, it's a way of you managing the money coming in and the money coming out. They said a surplus budget means profit is anticipated. Like after removing your expenses from your revenue, you have surplus remaining. A balanced budget means there's no difference between your income and your expense is the same. Your income and your expense is the same. Like the money coming in and the money going out is the same. Like in that way, when you have a surplus budget, now, like before I go far, if you have a surplus budget, or probably at the end of your accounting, you have profits. Now it's very important for you to say, okay, where is this money coming from? And if you know where the money is coming from, and then the money is much such that you have a profit, it is wise for you as a business owner to channel your energy to make more of that money. Do you get it? The moment you have a profit is being anticipated in your budget, or after the end of the month, after subtracting your expenses from your revenue, then you have a profit. It's very important for you to know which part of your business or which product gives you that profit. When you know where money is coming out from the most, it is wise for you as a business person to channel your energy to that particular place for you to make more profit. And then when you have a balanced account, so in accounting time, sometimes they say break even, where your income and your expenses is the same. The money going out and the money coming in is the same. So meaning, either you are not earning as much as you should, or you are spending as much as you should. Do we get that? When you have a balanced budget, or you break even at the end of the month, either your money is not coming in as much as it should, or you're spending as much as you should. And how would you now correct that? It's probably for you to review your business offerings, your product and services, whether maybe the money you are charging is small, or maybe the money you're spending to produce that product is higher compared to the profit margin. If the money you're spending is high and the profit margin is small, either you have a deficit record, or deficit, you have loss, or you have like a balanced account, or you break even only. You don't have a profit. So I want to believe you understand. So if you have a balanced budget or you break even in your account, please review your income. Either you're not earning as much as you should, or you're spending as much as you should. So you need to find a way to cut some expenses. Cut some expenses and probably increase your price or increase your product offering. If it is one or two products you're selling, add another one that will complement it, that you will sell, that would boost your income. And then last, if you have a deficit budget or your expenses is exceeding your revenue, it is very important now for you to begin to review what are you spending on. When expenses is getting much more than what you're earning, Like it's very, very bad for a business. Very, very bad for a business. See, when you have a surplus budget or a balanced budget, it's even hygienic. It's let me not use hygienic. It's ideal for a business. But the moment you begin to have a deficit, then there's a problem somewhere, because you cannot be spending what you don't have. You cannot be spending what you don't have. So when you have a deficit, it's okay when you have a, let's say it's okay when you have a deficit probably for a month, and then you bounce back after another month. But when you keep having deficit, then there's a problem somewhere. Like lately, I got to learn that even some of those big companies like Tesla, like Google, Apple, and the likes, it took years before they started declaring profits. First, they started running at loss because you are building, you'll be spending more. Now, at some point, they were breaking even. The money they are making is the same as the one they are spending. But now they are making profits. So every business, no matter how big or no matter how small, have gone through some stage of loss, break even, and then you have surplus. Do we get it? So understanding all of these things will help you plan better, spend better, and monitor your businesses better. So let's move forward. So under the types of budgets, we have corporate budgets. Like budgets are integral parts of running any business efficiently and effectively. Budgets are developed so all different subsidiaries, divisions, departments within an organization. For a manufacturer, a separate budget is often developed for direct labor and overhead expenses. I deliberately put this here for us to understand the bigger picture. Because most of us are running small businesses, but in big corporations, in big businesses, the prayer is for all our small businesses to grow one day to become a corporation and to grow one day to become like a multinational business. Then, so all of this knowledge will come in handy when that time comes. So for big corporation, since they have divisions, they have like production units, they have different divisions in a particular corporation. Probably let's take P&G for example. P&G, the makers of all these baby and body care products. They have tons of products that they are making. Now, all of those products have different departments in the organization. And then they have to make budgets for each and every subsidiary or each and every division of their organization. So for a small business, let's say in your small business, you make clothes, you sell fabrics, you sell shoes, and you sell ready to wear or ready-made clothes. For me, those are like even divisions. You will not combine all of them together. If you join the money you get from shoes together with the one you make from fabrics, together with the one you make from sewing clothes, at some point you won't know which one is performing more than the other. But if you separate the accounts, the money that comes in from shoe has a separate account, or probably a separate place where you record it. Then the money that comes in for fabrics, you have a separate record for that. The money that comes in from your, like the sewing service, I'm talking for a tailor or a fashion designer here, you have a separate record for it. So at the end of the month, if you want to order for more shoes, you will know that this is the total amount of money that we've made from shoes this month. Then we can spend this amount to order for shoes. But if you combine all of them together, you'll be seeing millions in your account, but you would know which one is for which. So it's very, very important for you to have like a separate record for every aspect of your business. But with only one product you're selling, you can have a single account, you can have a single record. But if you have several ones, please separate it So it will be very, very important for you to like not mix them such that one will not be performing and the other. There's no way one will even suffer it. Because you might be thinking, okay, we have lots of money. Let me just buy shoes. Then your fabrics, you will not be able to restock. Then for this other one, you will not be able to restock. But if you have separate budgets for them, you'll be able to know how much you spend on which. So let me briefly, I think we should go on break now, and then we'll be back by 1:05, or let me say 1:10, for us to pray and probably take a tea break. So Deborah can go and make her own tea and take, and then a water break. So is there any question before we go on break now? Any question? I've been speaking to myself ever since. Is my mic muted? No.
No, we had you.
Okay. So we'll be going on a very short break now. By 1:10, we should be back. So you can stay on the call if you choose, and you can go and come back. Corporate budget. You create different budgets for different departments of your organization, and keep record of your income and your expenses. So to another type of budget, which is a personal budget. So one of the quotes here talked about budgeting. Budgeting is not just for anyone who don't have enough money. Well, budgeting is aimed at making sure that enough. Whatever money that you're able to make is enough. So individuals and families can have budgets. Creating and using budgets is not just for those who need to closely monitor cash flow from month checks, and bank can benefit from, like stressing this since the beginning of this class. Regardless of how much money your record you're making from your business. Oh, my network is breaking. Let me check. Oh, sorry, my Wi-Fi just went off. Let me confirm if you can hear me now. Kindly, you can hear me. Still breaking. What can I do? What can I do? What can should I had to restart it. Okay, Bimbi or Mariam, can you hear me clearly now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so individual budgets, it's very important for you to like create budgets. Like I said in the beginning of this class, aside from your businesses, as a business owner, you need to even separate your business account from your personal account. In case you don't know that before, you need to know it now. Now that you're running a very, very small business, you might have probably a personal account that you're using for your payments. At some point, customers won't take you serious when you don't have a business account. So, but then when you now have a business account, all your personal expenses or your personal finances shouldn't meddle with your business account. So you need to have like a separate account for your business and a separate account for your personal finances. So now that you have a separate account for your personal finances, you need to have a budget for it as well, such that when you have the right budgets, you won't overspend your budget and begin to dive into the company's account. Your business is an entity of its own. You are an entity of your own. They are two separate people. But one of those reasons why businesses fail again is we find it hard to separate our business money from our personal money. Now you find yourself eating your fruit or your seed even before they germinate. You spending your capital. You be like, after all, I'm the business owner, it's my money. You use that money that you're supposed to use to pay salary to buy Jimmy Choo or buy that Chanel bag. Before you know, at the end of the month, or when you need to make a particular purchase to buy some raw materials or something, there's little or no money left for you to do it. So it's very, very important for you to have a separate account for your personal expenses and not just have an account for that. You know how much you'll be paying yourself at the end of the month. So you need to make a budget with that amount such that you won't overspend and be spending from the company's money. So other types of budgeting, we have static and flexible budgets. They say the static budget remains unchanged over the life of the budget, regardless of changes that occur during budgeting period. All accounts and figures originally calculated remains same. A flexible budget has a relational value to certain variables. The dollar amount listed on a flexible budget changed based on sales levels, production level, or other external economic factors. For big corporations, for big businesses, they mostly have a static budget. Like if they've said they will spend $1 billion for the year 2023, no matter how dollar is, the rate of dollar, no matter how electricity or anything, they will stick to that particular amount of money they want to spend. Now, how will they now break even? That is why you realize that most businesses now, the Milo that you used to buy before, that will almost full the sachets, now it's even less than half. They will now begin to cut down cost of production. They begin to cut down quantity they produce. They will stick to their budget. But now they will cut down cost of production. If it's costing them 15 naira to produce Milo of 17 naira, and then they will find a way to make profit and stick to their budgets, probably cut it down for them to still make enough profits that would still be in line with their budgets. But for small businesses, like what you bought in the market yesterday is far different from what you're buying in the market today. So your budget needs to be as flexible as possible. Like accommodate, give room for change, because changes will definitely come, such that when a change comes, you will still be able to balance up. So there are static budgets, and I've explained the type of corporations or the type of businesses that use a static budget, and I've talked about a flexible budget. So what we have left after this break is not much. I think the last thing on my watch here is budgeting. And these are like beliefs that people have that around budgeting. Someone will be like, money is coming in, money is going out. I do not need a budget. Like I do not need a budget. What should I budget for? We only live once. Now let me just spend what I have and enjoy the life of my head. So it's from all we've said since the beginning of this session, we realize that regardless of the size of the business, you definitely need a budget. You definitely need a budget. Like you definitely need to find a way to keep track of your income and expenses. Like regardless of how much you're making, regardless of what you're selling, is very, very important. I'm saying a chat. Okay, will you be able to go through the slide again? I seem to have missed some. Okay. I think the only thing I've talked about, and this is for Priska, the only thing I've talked about while you are away is we started on personal budgets, and then I think we were talking about that before you went off. Then we talked about static and flexible budgets. And static budget is basically a budget that remains unchanged over the life of the budget. And then I said, most big corporations, most big companies have a static budget. If they've budgeted that they want to spend $1 billion budget, regardless of, they already know how much money they make from their distribution to states or countries. They already know how much they spend on salaries. So they don't want to go past $1 billion. Now, what they will do to keep up with that budget is to cut down cost of production or cut down quantity of production. I use Milo, for example, because that was I saw a tweet of someone that bought Milo, and then what was remaining in the cup was, well, it's not even up to a spoonful. So they will now cut down their production. Milo that we used to buy before that is almost fill up the sachets. Now it's even less than half of it. So they will cut down cost of production and cut down production for them to stick to their static budgets. So, but for a small business, but for any business that is not as large, and should definitely give room for changes. Like cost of production will increase, cost of raw materials will increase. If you want to stick to your budgets, you will have hard time for a small business or a small entrepreneur, you understand? So having a static budget, depending on the size of your business, you need to know which one works for you. And here they said, having a relational value to certain variables, like variable things that can change. The dollar amount listed on the flexible budget change based on sales value, production levels, or external economic factor. You see that external economic factor, underline that and even put it in bold. Those are things you cannot control. So it's very important to give that room for change, such that when that change comes, you can tweak your budget to fit the current dispensation. So then I started talking about budget myth, like some of those things that people like, false beliefs that people have around the budget. Like the first one is, I do not need a budget. Like a lot of us think of that. A lot of us, out of ignorance or maybe lack of knowledge, we feel money is coming in, money is going out. Why do I need to budget when money is coming in and money is going out? Like, you definitely need a budget based on all we've discussed since the beginning of this session. You would realize that it's not enough for money to be coming in for you. It's not enough for money to be going out for you. You need to know where this money are coming in from and where they are going out to. And then having a budget will help you have enough money to run your business. Having a budget will help you have enough money to live your life. So regardless of what stage you are, regardless of what you're doing, the budget is as important as the income, is as important as the expenses. So the next myth here is I am not good at maths. Like personally myself, I run a business, and because figures and numbers tend to confuse me quickly. Even though I studied maths, I did all of those things, but when it comes to finances, I want to pay attention to running my business and not worrying about what is the profit for this year month, what is that one. Then you get someone that will do that for you. You employ someone that will do that for you. That will save you lots of money than you not even knowing the start of your business. So if you're not good at it, either you learn how to do it. I have to learn how to do it even before I employed someone. So for me to have to reduce the stress of work for myself, first I learned how to do it, then I employed someone, and then I taught them what I know. You understand? Then the process is now easier for me. Or there are tons of accounting softwares online now, or business record softwares that you can use to just keep track. So you don't need to be calculating and be looking for calculator up and down to calculate 1 naira plus 2 naira. So you can use softwares to do that. And also, someone will be like, my job is secure, I'm probably a government worker, and then I'll definitely make salary at the end of the month. You realize that sometimes nowadays, even your take-home salary, it is not enough to take you home. In the beginning of the month, when you receive salary, I think I jokingly read it somewhere where someone said you start eating chicken. Then in the middle of the month, you probably start eating what the chicken is what they eat, maize and the likes, because you did not have the right budget. So now you've spent beyond what you're earning. Some are already on debt even before salary comes. That is budget. You're spending above your means. So regardless of the kind of job security you have, having a budget is very, very important. I don't want to deprive myself of, like, I'm young, I have money, let me just live my life. And it's one of those mistakes we make as small business owners. Like, I don't want anything big. Like, my business is small, let me just do something. I don't want to become a big corporation that I need to be budgeting for long term. Like, regardless of what you have in your mind, even with the small business that you're doing, with the right budgets, it will give you some form of like revenue security. So all of this are some of those myths that should go off our minds as small business owners. And the essence of this class is to whet our minds as to the need why we should have budgets, the need why we should take serious our business finances, keep the right records, income and expenses, know what amount is coming in for you, regardless of how much money you're earning, regardless of the kind of business you're running. You need to know, because it is only what you know you can manage. It is only what you know you can plan for. It is only what you know that you can put your energy towards making it grow. I want to believe the class today have been impactful, and then we've been able to like demystify budgeting and all of what is necessary for us as business owners to not only have the right budgets, but to keep some basic things at the back of our minds. So thank you very much for listening to the class today. So do I have any question from you all before we take a deep dive into your assignments? And then I'll give you the assignment for this week. Any question? Miriam, Bimbi, Ibrahim, Priska, any question, or I have been speaking to myself ever since? Yes, Priska, your hand is raised.
Okay, sir, thank you very much. I want to ask, in business, we have different types of business. We have businesses that you can start with zero naira, right?
Yes.
We have businesses that involve large amount of money for startup. We have businesses that requires a little amount of money to start up. Now, for example, if you're running a business that requires zero finance startup, you get, so how do you place that kind of startup? Like, how do you place that kind of budget? You are having a zero startup, zero finance startup business, right?
Okay.
So, and then it's like, for example, if you're running online stuffs like that, or probably you are into tech, or maybe you're into handworks, you need and probably you use raw materials within your reach. So to do all those things. Now, if you're trying to come up with a type of budget, where do you place this kind of budget? And again, how do you now arrange your budget in terms of revenue, income, revenue and expenses? You talk about expenses, the money you invested in the business. Then you talk about revenue, the money generated. And then you talk about profit and all of that, and then break even and all of. So how do you now place this kind of, how do you place this budget into those categories?
Okay. So, thank God you said some businesses you need zero naira or zero amount to start. Some businesses, you don't even need money to start them. But at some point, while you're running those businesses, you begin to spend money, you begin to make money. Budgeting starts when you start making money, when you start spending money. If you want to start a business, like having an idea, the business has started already. You don't need money to have an idea. You understand? But you need money to run that idea. So if you begin to run your business, if you begin to make sales and you're beginning to spend money, then you need budgets. But as a small business, I did not mention anything that like large accounting, where you begin to do financial projection, where you begin to do all of those things. Those ones, accountants or if you study accounting or all of those things, you'll be able to learn about it. But all I'm saying here is income minus expenses minus income will give you your profit or your loss. Now, when you know your income, you know your expense, you would know, like over time, you know how much money you're making every month, you know how much money you're making every week, you know how much money. If you make 10,000 naira this week, 10,000 naira this week, and then you want it to be that at the end of the week, you have 30% of that money in your account, then the expenses should fall under 70%. That is budgeting. Budgeting is making sure that you have enough money to spend. See, no matter what happens, you will know you will not spend more than 7,000 naira for your expenses. You still have 3,000 naira left if you make 10,000 naira. So budgeting is basically knowing, okay, we've made 10,000 naira. Now let's plan for next week. Next week, our expenses from previous weeks We don't spend less than 7. We don't spend more than 7,000. So let's budget 7,000 for next week. You see now, from your 10,000 that you made, you have 3,000 left in your accounts. Now you are spending 7,000. If you do not have budget, you won't know when you will spend 9,000, and you'll be left with 1,000. So when an emergency comes that you don't have any control over, you have little or no money to spend. But if you keep saving that 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, you save 3,000 for 4 weeks, that's 12,000. You have one full 12,000 in your business that nothing is touching it. Like when something comes up, you fall back to that 12,000. You get me? So it is very, very important, regardless of the size of the business. When you start with the idea, it's okay. Money has not started coming in, money is not going out yet. So it's understandable. But the moment you begin to make money, the moment you begin to spend money, then budgeting starts, then recording starts. So I want to believe I've answered your question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, a quick one. Now you talked about flexible budget and fixed budget. Now you talk about fixed budget as those compulsory stuffs you have to do, like your house rent, your NEPA bill, and all of that. There are stuffs you do every month, right? Now flexible budget comes in like things that their prices are not steady and all of that, right?
Yes.
So now, like the sole aim of every business is to make profit.
Yes.
So now, and that profit is to take care of your personal needs, right? Now, okay, for example, if you're running a business and you're making profits, and then the profit covers your daily needs, your feeding, the like other things that has to do with you and people around you and all of that. So and you know that in outside the expenses you do within your business and other fixed budget you have, there are other things again you have to take care of, family stuff and all of that. So in all of this, where do you place these other expenses that comes?
Okay, so let me give you how I run mine. Okay, so what I do is whatever money that comes into my business, like at the end of the month, I divide them into 3. 1/3 is my own. Like 1/3 of that business, of that profits, is my own. It covers my own personal spending, anything that has to do with family, or maybe one uncle somewhere that all of a sudden just remembers you and needs money. I spend it from that 1/3. Like anything family, I spend it from that 1/3. Anything myself, I spend it from that 1/3. The second half of it is that 2/3 is to go back into the business. You understand? Either I use it to buy raw material. This is profit I'm talking about. Either I use it to buy raw material or I use it to reinvest it. Then the 3/3 is to save somewhere. So 1/3 is for me. 2/3 is for the business. 3/3 is to save somewhere, either for any personal emergency or for any business emergency. Like because I'm not this very formula mass kind of a person, that is just the one I know I use, and it's working for me. Accountants will tell you to do something, this one, that one, calculate this one, that one. But the easiest route for me is I divide everything, my profit, into 3. 1/3 is for me, 2/3 is for the business, 3/3 is to save. As simple as that. Any more questions?
Wow, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So any question from Mariam or Bimbi Ibrahim?
No questions.
No questions, thank.
Okay, so I received your assignments, and first let me start by commending you all for the efforts, and outside the effort in coming up with the assignments and all, and then especially let me commend Priska, I think she sent her assignment the second day that the assignment was given. It's very, very commendable. So, okay. Bimbi Ibrahim, you sent the assignment as which name? Olufimilayo Afolabi? Can you hear me? Bimbi.
Yes, that.
Okay. I think I'm seeing the assignments now. Okay, you did for
Yeah.
aged from 50
Yes.
to 70. Okay. So I think you all tried, and then the effort and everything you put into coming up with this assignment is. Let me start with you. Tell me one thing you learned in the period of doing this assignment, based on what we discussed last couple of weeks. Just one. Bimbi, are you there?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Okay, so while you are doing this assignment, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me one thing you learned in the period of doing this assignment, like based on what we discussed last couple of weeks.
I was able to like generate this list. It actually needed a lot of brainstorming.
A lot of brainstorming, a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's in a way opened your mind to possibilities, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Priska, let me hear from you. So while you were working on yours, tell me one thing you learned while coming up with the assignment. I think you did, let me open yours. You did for male baby. Now you came up with 50 items, 25 items compressed, and then you did 10. Tell me one thing you learned that is different from what Bimbi said. So Maria,
Okay.
you did yours.
Okay, one thing I learned is how like you have a lot of ideas, plenty and diverse, and at the end of you have to list them all. You're now trying to how you can marry all of them together, bringing them, like grouping them into different categories. Like if you have like household, for example, then inside household materials, we have a long list of them. Okay, so then grouping them will give you idea, give you a perception or a roadmap to getting
coming up with one.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So in summary, basically it helped you with mapping your ideas together.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you. So Mariam, tell us one thing you learned in the course of the assignment. I think you worked on middle-aged women.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us one thing, even though you listed 40, then you did the last 10. I said you should do 40, then you compressed 40 to 20, then 20 to 10.
No, but it's 25.
For Mariam, I said,
Okay.
no, in the beginning I said 50, Priska. In the beginning I said 50, then I now reduced it to 40. But you did the first one I said, Priska.
Yes, I did 50, 25,
50, 25, 10. Yes. But while I was to make it easier for the rest, for everyone, I now reduced it to 40, 20, 10. But it's fine. You did well. So Mariam, tell us what you learned while doing yours.
I learned that when generating ideas, it gives diversity of thinking to different things. Like,
yeah. So basically, like opening your minds to possibilities, like even if It's not something you would use. Where you begin to put yourself in the mind of the person you're generating the idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Like
So,
I put myself in the position of a middle-aged woman. and
with
start
the
thinking,
woman, then you begin to think about what you're creating for that person. So
yes.
all of this, the assignment was aimed at, see, the idea you're creating, the idea you're working on, is not you that will be using the products. You are creating it for someone. You want to sell it for someone. So we talked about empathy while creating ideas last upper week. So, and what empathy simply means is putting yourself in the shoe of the person you want to sell the product to. You are not middle-aged, you are probably not elderly, you're probably not a baby, but you have to think like a baby while coming up with that idea. So whatever idea, whatever product you want to sell, empathy is very, very important. And that is the reason for these assignments. You should be able to think like that middle age. You should be able to come up with ideas like that middle age. So it's very, very important. And I must commend you all for the assignment. You all did well. So now this week's assignment. We've talked about budgeting, right? So out of the last final products, the 10 final products that you all came up with, pick one, just one out of it. One out of it. And come up with a budget to start a business in one of them. I said to start. You can think of, okay, for Miriam now, I think I'm seeing foodstuff and beverages, beddings, kitchen utensils, jewelries, and this and that. Pick any one of them. And for budget, it means probably you need to do business registration. How much you need to start to register that business. If you want to, like the number you start with, how much it will cost you to start to buy those things. If you will employ someone, factor the person's salary.
So should you not give us the template, maybe?
No, madam, just take note while I'm talking like this.
Okay.
Take note while I'm speaking.
Start again, please.
It's very simple, very simple. One of the products, just one of the products from this 10 that you listed, just come up with a budget to start the business, to start selling the product. Let me use it that way. Do you get it?
Yes.
Okay. Or let's do it this way. To make it easier for you. I'll come up with a template. I'll forward it to Alicia, and then she will forward it to you all.
Okay, that would be good.
That would be good. Okay. Since you all don't want to work now, so let me make it easier for you. So that will be the end of our session today. And then if there is any question, if there's anyone with any business challenge that you need help with, now I'm giving free consultancy. Let's talk about it. Probably at the end of this session, you may not even meet me anywhere to talk about this. So for the sake of this session and for Innovate's Lab that made this possible, you have access to ask me questions, and then I'll share from experience for you or give you tips on how to make it work.
So you're coming next week, oh?
Yes, I'm coming next week. Next week is my final week with you guys. So, yes. Next week we're not going to have a class. Next week is basically a rundown of everything we've discussed from the beginning of this month, and come with your, like, you're just going to be talking from art to art next week. Come with your business challenge, come with your questions, come with your any problem you have with your business or anything related to business or your entrepreneurial journey. Let's just talk about it. You ask me questions, and then that will be all for next week. I think the calendar they gave me is for 3 weeks. Last upper week, for 4 weeks. Last upper week, last week, this week, and next week.
So, but you have done 2 weeks now. Give us Jara.
No. I'm sorry. I have some other people that I need to attend to. So let's just compress everything. I'll give you the Jara next week. I'll combine all the Jara for you next week.
So can you
So just come
help
with-
us with your slides?
I think they have all the slides. They will make it available for you.
Okay.
They'll make it available for you. They have access to everything I'm doing, so they'll make it available for you. And then the session is being recorded, so they will make all available for you.
All right.
So in the absence of any Christian, so let's close to this class, and then next week, like, prepare yourself for questions. I'll be asking you questions. I expect you to ask me questions, because from next week you might not see me again. Ask me questions, and then let's just talk. Let's chat. Let's understand businesses better, and then I pray it's beneficial for us all. So
All right, sir. Thank you very much. We
that'll be the
appreciate.
end of this class. I'll send the template of the assignments to the program coordinator, and then they will get it down to you.
Yes, sir. Please. We also want to have, if possible, maybe since we treated budget today, I was thinking you will lead us to writing a professional budget for businesses.
Okay, so probably I'll find a way to get that ready for you before next week. You understand me? But for professional budget, accountants are the ones that do that. You understand me? Accountants, like, for me, in my almost 9 or 10 years of running the business, if I really want to do a serious budget, I look for an accountant. But I do my budgeting with this 1/3, 2/3, 3/3 that has been working for me and is working for me.
No, like for example, if you're writing a proposal, you have to write a budget in your proposal, business proposal. Yeah, so that what I'm saying is maybe we can have a template, or maybe a kind of
I'll find a template for you. That is more like your
or
financial
items that are supposed to be listed in a budget.
I
like
think I already talked about that in the class. So, but I'll find a proposal for. I'll find a template for you. Like, you mean, like, probably when you're creating like a business plan, or like a project proposal, and then the financial projection.
Yes, and itemize it.
Yes, I'll look for a template for you with that regard, and then I'll forward. I'll make it ready before next week. So we'll discuss all of that next week.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate.
You're welcome. Is there any other question before we go? So no question. So see you all next week, and do have a lovely weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.